Have you been feeling less important lately? Have you been feeling like you're less in life? And also, have you been feeling like time is just passing you by? And I know why y'all been feeling that way, because I've been feeling that same way lately. So in this video, I'm going to share with you why y'all been feeling that way in y'all life and how to just make a change. I'm going to show you some steps, so walk with me. I know y'all been feeling like the same way. Y'all been feeling like y'all just not important just to life anymore. And the reason why y'all been feeling like y'all not important to life anymore is because it's y'all phone. Because just think about it. You look at things going on social media, and then you just get a glimpse at the clips and your favorite moments, and then it's just like entertainment. Then you just feel like, wow, why can't that be me? And I used to have the same feelings because I used to feel like I was insecure. So in reality, you're not really insecure. You're just overthinking. And you got to stop overthinking your situation, because your situation just can't change overnight. And that's what a lot of us, we be accustomed to. We be wanting our situations to just change overnight. But in reality, the world doesn't work like that. Because I know you see a post and everybody wants to feel validated by social media. But here's our ways that you can just take your mind off of just like you're not important in life. The first thing to do is just, you got to stop comparing yourself to others. Because I know it's a game changer, but you got to take your mind off that. Because once you start comparing yourself to others, you're going to start putting yourself like you on a time limit. And there's no time limit to be great. So to take your mind off that, you just got to just let it flow and stop comparing yourself. And just find ways to just not be entertained by social media too much anyway. And at the end of the day, I know you're going to want to gravitate towards it because that's an addiction that no one wants to admit that they have with the social media, because don't nobody want to get over it. But you got to find different things to do. Because to take away my insecurities and things like that, worrying about social media posts, I do whatever excites me. I might go for a cruise just to enjoy the scenery, because it keeps me sane. Because some things you got to do. And I know some of y'all work at these jobs and your life seems like it's just passing you by, because time is passing you by. And that's very important, because you got to figure out what else motivates you other than just seeing these social media posts and you just feeling like you're lost in this world. And in reality, I used to feel the same way. I started feeling like social media posts can validate me, but in reality, you don't need validation from anyone, because we're so caught up on our insecurities when we was younger, because we think that's what matters most. And it really doesn't matter the most. Because once you figure out ways to take your mind off that, and just let me know in the comments like what you like to do. Because I like to go for cruises. I listen to music. Music makes me take my mind off things. Music relieves stress, if you really don't know that. So that's why I like to make music too. So on my spare time, I like to go to the studio. I have 10 projects out. I don't know what you like to do in your spare time, but it's a lot of things that I can do and what you can do to just take your mind off you feeling less important. And that's the only reason why you feeling less important. Just think about it. Because what else in your life is really going so bad? I know times is hard, and I know we live in hard times where everybody just trying to get it right. But it's like we lack self-confidence. So we just feeling like everything in life is just passing us by, because we're getting older and we just don't know what to do. And I know the feeling, because I used to feel like that all the time. But more and more as I get out and start gaining more confidence within myself, I'm learning that you really don't need all those things. And you really just brainwashed, because at the end of the day, you're feeling that way like I was saying earlier, because your phone. You just got an addiction. You just can't stop scrolling. Then you want to see what's going on next. Think about it. You might be trying to go to sleep. You might be taking a nap, and then you can't even sleep right because you want to see what happened next on social media. So now it's to the point that it's like you letting make believe things dictate and bombard your life. And all of us, we're accustomed to that because we don't know how to find a way. We don't know how to look for a better escape. And that's why we feel like reality is just closing in on us because we don't know where to go from there. But I know people want attention because people do things for attention. You might see a lot of people doing a lot on social media. Everybody doing something, trying to get likes. Everybody want to be validated. But you got to look for another way to validate yourself because sometimes you just got to just exist. And a lot of us don't know how to just do that and just we too busy overthinking the next situation and how this gonna turn out. And where a lot of us go wrong at is that we always try to plan our life. So when we always trying to plan our life and it don't work out how you want it to work out, then we all in our feelings. And I know it's a common thing because we all go through it because we human. Because we really can't pinpoint our life. But it's many of things to do out here. You can go fishing. You can go to concerts. You can just enjoy yourself. And then in reality, you got to give yourself time to relax. Let your brain relax. Stop overthinking situations too much. So that's why you feeling like you just left in life because you just see everybody doing good, but you only see people doing good only in social media. So in the real world, you get to look at reality, but you keep basing your life off of things on the internet. And I know, shoot, you human, you want to see that. You want to see somebody doing good, and it's making you feel like you wasting your life. But the reason why you feel like you wasting your life is because you just don't have the right courage to get out and be you. You know what I'm saying? You don't have the courage to get out and be you. So you feel like life is passing you by. So in reality, you haven't given yourself anything to do to take your mind off of why you feeling like you behind. So that's why I do these YouTube videos because I want to share with y'all. Because this is another way that I just take my life off of being insecure and I just feel like I'm behind in life. And that's why a lot of y'all are feeling like that because y'all ain't just figured out ways to manage your time other than working your job. So that's why you feel like you're not doing nothing. And I get it because I was there too. So let's just take it back to when we was younger and we was kids and we always wanted to do things in our life and then we was always told no. So that's why a lot of y'all take on that childhood trauma to your adult stages because you was always being used to being told no. So when you feel like life is passing you by, that's what you go back to. And most of us do it. And we can't help that because we was taught that. And I know it's crazy, but in reality, you just got to get out there. You got to change your mindset, your mind frame, whatever makes you find peace. Because you have to find peace to move on. And that's where a lot of us go wrong at. We don't know how to find peace to move on. So once you find peace to move on, you'll stop feeling like you behind in life because it's really not no race. And that's what people go wrong at. They just want to be this, they want to be that by the time they this age, and by the time they that age, so they get stuck at a standstill with moving forward to progress because you don't know how to progress because you're so addicted to scrolling on that phone. And before you know it, time is going on. And you feeling more and more lost and out of touch with this world like you're not doing nothing. So while somebody on social media can influence you so bad to the point that you feel like you're not moving, you don't even know this person. Think about it. That's the craziest thing. They get up, they living their life, they posting, they figuring it out, and then they not worried about what people think, but you so busy worrying about what people think. because people told you that you're supposed to be this and that in your life. And in reality, people that's telling you you're supposed to be this and that in your life, they not this and that in their life. So why is you listening to everybody else? Because you got to stop being worried about what other people think. Because I used to be like that the same way. I used to worry about what you thought, what she thought, because I used to let that take a control over what I was supposed to do in life, let it take a toll. So in reality, if you don't want that to take control over your life, just figure out things to take your mind off that. Like I was saying, you can go fishing, you can go swimming, you could take different dance classes, you could take all types of classes, whatever you want to do. You can go skating, you can do whatever. So just take your mind off feeling less important to society, because in reality, you're not less important to society. You just don't know what to do at this moment. You overthinking it. And it's nothing wrong with you overthinking it, because you're human. But you gotta learn how to not just get so much in your emotions where you just can't control and you just can't progress and move wrong. And that's where a lot of us we go wrong at, because we be searching for that perfect moment, and then we get so bombarded with our emotions and the way we feel, we don't even move on to the next step for the perfect moment, because we're so caught up in our phone, because we think everything in our phone is what we're supposed to be doing. And then in reality, that's not reality. It's successful people on your phone. But if you want to start to want to progress in life, you have to learn how to just let that go. Stop feeling like you just need to be somewhere by a certain time. And I know time is going on. So in the meantime, while time is going on, I want you to just start figuring out ways to just relieve your mind from that pressure that you have to be somebody at a certain time. Because if you keep feeling like that at moments like that all the time, you're just gonna never progress in your life. Because I've been through situations like that too. I had to learn. How can I move on if I'm always feeling like I'm just stuck and I'm not going nowhere? So now, since I'm feeling that way, it's because I'm feeling that way. Not the logic for real, because a lot of us, we don't look at the real logic. We always doing things based off how we feel. We have to stop feeling a certain way, how we want things to go this way, want things to go that way. And at the end of the day, we doing everything based off likes and comments and social media. So you feel like your life is not complete because what you saw on social media. And that's just crazy to me, because you don't know how to just put your emotions to the side and just learn that it's not a race. And once you learn that it's not a race, and just take a deep breath, sit back, do things to ease your mind, just to take your mind off scrolling on social media, you can come back and be a fresh new you. And everybody needs that time where they need to just refresh themselves, because they feeling burnt out. Because you're human. You're not a robot, you're not AI. So that's why you're gonna feel like that. Because when I used to feel like that, I used to do a lot of things to just meditate. Because like I always tell you, that's what meditates me. I listen to my music, and I just, sometimes you may just need to get some rest. Sleep it over and just come back the next day. Then you be all refreshed, and it be time for your mind to just wander like it's supposed to. So that's why I let my family on here, because we just keep each other motivated, because that's the things you need in life. Because even when there's negativity around, you just gotta find some way to just take your mind off of it. And then when you see somebody else's success, you shouldn't let that make you feel upset, because a lot of us are insecure. I ain't gonna lie. When we see somebody else's success, our first nature is to just to down talk that person or hate on them or something like that, because we're insecure with ourselves, because we feel like we could be doing that and It seems so simple, but we making it more difficult than what it is. And that's where a lot of us go wrong at. Instead of really getting out your emotions and how you feel like your life's supposed to be, you need to just start just learning and just sitting back and observing and just doing your research. And that's where we all go wrong at, because we just don't know how to do that, because we're so caught up. And once we stop being caught up in how life's supposed to be, because life ain't always going to be what it's supposed to be, because that's an illusion that they told you. So that's why I'm just share with y'all. So the first thing you can do is just stop feeling like you're behind because you're seeing things on social media. Number two, you just gotta figure out activities to do to keep your mind off that so you can stay sane. Whatever you like to do, go out to games, concerts, listen to music, have you get away when you're not working at your 9 to 5. Number three, you gotta stop overthinking things, because once you overthink something, you really can't progress because you're overthinking things. And then the fourth step, this is a good one. You gotta stop feeling insecure about yourself and stop putting a time limit on things and just stop hating on people. And once you do that, you're gonna figure out how to just take your mind off why you feel like you less important in life, because you're really not less important. So those are the things that I really wanted to share with y'all, because it was hard for me. It's been a long journey, and I know it's been a long journey for you too. So hopefully, after explaining it to y'all, y'all can get a better look on why y'all been feeling that way. Hopefully I answered all y'all problems. So if you like this video, I want you to like it and share. And I'm gonna see you in the next one. Peace.